Hey you guys, what's going on everyone? This is like I don't know. I'm off the chart right now with it. Welcome to my channel, you guys. My name is Keioffa. Welcome back to my subscribers. Air hug. What is that? Anyways, so I realized after I made that video the other day that I had kind of like jumped way ahead, you guys. I hadn't even kind of ever made a video on what a surgical tech is. Like, what is a surgical tech? I keep talking about I'm a surgical tech, I'm a traveling surgical tech, I don't want to be a surgical tech, I'm trying to get out the OR. I'm talking about all of this stuff. And I would never really kind of like walk y'all through what a surgical tech. For those that don't know, I know that there's a mixed group of people on this channel. Most of y'all are interested in either surgical tech or just, you know, you just rock with me, so you cool with whatever I talk about. And I appreciate all of y'all. But I do want, for those that are aspiring to be surgical techs or thinking about or trying to compare the jobs like with another job, maybe nursing or LPN or something like that. So I wanted to talk to you guys about what a surgical tech is according to the people that govern us. Before I get into it, you guys, I want y'all to smash the like button for your girl, please. Please just like it. If you like me, like the video. Matter of fact, wait a couple minutes and then decide whether you're gonna like the video or not. But just before you leave, can you just like it? Just like me, please. It's free. I love you. I would like your video. Matter of fact, if you want me to, drop a comment tell me in the description box if you got a channel, and I'll come watch your videos if you want me to. They need to be good, or at least about something that I want to watch. And then I can watch them. Or even if it's not, I watch vlogs and stuff too, guys. I watch like clean with me, get ready with me. I watch everything. So I don't care what your topic is. If you want me to come over, I'll come watch your videos. But since you already here, just show me a little bit of love, okay? Let me get in the YouTube game, okay? Anyway, I'm gonna talk to y'all about what a surgical tech is real quick, and then I'm gonna get out of here because y'all know these videos, they end up like 20 minutes and they don't need to be. I don't know if I gave the disclaimer yet. The window is open, so you will hear cars riding back and forth where I'm located at, you guys. The room that I rent is like right on the road, so every time I open the window, that's what I hear. And so it's kind of cool because I have two windows. Like, it's a little one over here, but it's a big one right here, and so I get a lot of nice breeze. But it's warm outside right now, and so as y'all can see, I'm all like sweating and everything. I'm not like super bad, but it's warm in here. I had the fan on, but it made it even more noisy, like on top of the cars riding past. So I was like, no, we can't have both. So anyways, I'm gonna read to y'all from the AST, which is the Association of Surgical Technologists, the definition of what a surgical tech is. If y'all don't know, I don't know if I mentioned this already, what AST is, but AST is the organization that creates our curriculum. I know some people are familiar with the National Board of Surgical Technologists, which is the people that create the exams for our credentialing. So AST is curriculum, NBSTSA is credentialing, okay? So now that we've cleared that up, let's talk about what a surgical technologist is. All right, Mr. QC, there we go. A surgical technologist, so it says surgical technologists are healthcare professionals who are an integral part of the team of medical practitioners providing surgical care to patients. Surgical technologists work under the direct supervision and regulatory authority of a surgeon to facilitate the safe and effective conduct of invasive and non-invasive surgical procedures, ensuring that the operating room is a safe environment, that equipment functions properly, and that operative procedures is conducted under conditions that maximize patient safety. Surgical technologists are experts in the theory and application of principle of asepsis and sterile technique to combine the knowledge of human anatomy and surgical procedures and implementation tools and technology to facilitate a physician's performance of invasive therapeutic and diagnostic procedures. We are there to service the doctor to make sure that he knows that he has everything, or she, that they need to do the procedure and to keep the patient as safe as possible. We also provide expert information and knowledge on asepsis and sterile technique, meaning asepsis. Let me read to y'all something. One more thing to help y'all understand what a surgical technologist is. We have the operating room techniques book by Barry and Kahn. This is the 13th edition. I'll link to this book. So anyways, we're on page 32, and it's talking about surgical technology right there. Can y'all see that? Surgical technology. So according to AST, it says, the first line of it says, surgical technologists are allied health professionals, right? So, and let me just read that whole sentence just so we are clear on what it says. Okay, guys, let me back up from the camera. I'm like reading it. It says surgical technologists are allied health professionals who are an integral part of the team of medical practitioners providing surgical care to patients. Okay, that's what they say. According to this one, it says the activity of a registered, and this is just in the reference to the allied health part, like if y'all need to understand kind of what allied health professional is. The activity of registered professional nurses are supplemented and implemented by services of allied technical health care personnel. Oh, I couldn't say that for nothing. The term allied health care personnel refers to individuals who have been trained in health-related sciences and have responsibility for delivering health care related services, but who are not graduates of schools of medicine, dentistry, podiatry, or nursing. Approximately 1/3 of healthcare workforce are designated as allied health professionals. Educational preparation may be offered in colleges, vocational technical schools, hospital-based programs, and military services. Technologists, technicians, and therapists in more than 130 occupational categories work collaboratively with and under direction of physicians and registered nurses. The surgical technologist, or ST, is the member of the direct patient care team and works interoperatively with the surgeon and anesthesia provider under the direct supervision of the circulating nurse. The team is referred to as the perioperative team. The surgical technologist prepares instruments, supplies, and equipment to maintain a safe and therapeutic surgical environment for the patient. The surgical technologist performs specific techniques and functions designed to exclude pathogenic microorganisms from the wound. Okay, so our job, I'm sweating now, y'all. Our job, I'm gonna have to turn that fan on in a minute, is to basically provide surgical technology, which is knowing having the tools, knowing how to use the tools, implementing the tools, and any type of how to say it, anything that's new. Like we get implants and stuff like that for patients. We need to know what the implant is, and when you, like, let's just say you get an ACL and they use the allograft, so they get a donor graft, right? And we gonna have to put that in the person. Like, you need to know how to do that, so we need to have the tools to be able to put that ACL graft in the patient. The doctor's gonna kind of know, like the doctors know how to use the stuff too, but we need to know how to use it, because sometimes the tech, it has more time with these instruments and tools than the physicians do, or for some reason it might be a new instrument or a tool come out, and the surgical tech we get in service on those. We get the people that come in, the reps, they train us on how to use it. So when we are in the operating room, there is no question on how to use awesome instruments and tools that we get to play with. Like in OR, we get the drill, we get saws, we get mallets, which are hammers. You know, we get all kind of stuff. We put nails and plates and pins in people. You need to know how to do that and what instruments and tools that you can use. And say, for instance, you have a tool that's specific to doing a procedure. You also need to know what you can use to like if something goes wrong, oh, what can I do to supplement or to, you know, to improvise. Like, you have to know how to improvise. It's just part of, and it has to come like almost second nature, because you don't have a lot of time. Like, everything in the OR, even though it's a controlled environment, it still kind of has that urgency of the patient is under anesthesia and we have to take care of this person. Like, you can't just be lollygagging and taking 2 or 3 hours to figure out how to get the damn, you know, drill together. Like, you don't have that kind of time. You need to already know how to do that. Also, depending on, let's just say if it's not even an implant or something like that, when we are in specific, let's just say when you're cutting a person, when an incision is made, the tissue is disturbed. So at the end of the procedure, for whatever reason they made that incision, they still have to put the tissue back together. But you still need to understand each layer of tissue, because there are going to be certain instruments that you can use and that you can't use on certain tissues. And it's just not just handing instruments, you guys. And then they also, AST, I'm not going to be here much longer because I'm already over my time, but AST also talks about, where is the part that, hold on guys, let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, they also talk about how you have to know all of this stuff. So this line, it says the surgical technologists are expert in the theory and application of principles of asepsis and sterile technique to combine the knowledge of anatomy, human anatomy. So you have to know the human body. Like, you might not need to know where every blood vessel and every vein, you need to probably know where most of the arteries and stuff are, like the major ones. But it's certain things that you have to know. Like, you don't get to just work in the operating room and do a knee fracture or a tibia fracture or fibula fracture and think that you're not gonna have to learn like the bone structure and understanding how to get to, like, how are we gonna fix this? Because if it's, whether it's closed or not, let's just say it's closed, I mean, we got to open it, you got to dissect down to it. There's tools and stuff that you need to get down to just to even see where the bone is broken. You got to first before the doctor can fix the bone, you got to be able to see where it's broken at. And that takes you working with, like, the physician working with, and I keep saying he because most of the physicians I work with are men, so forgive me, they're women physicians. Sorry for the noise too. But yeah, you can't just be in these cases and not really understand things about the human body and anatomy. And you know, like for C-sections, you need to put bumps under the hip, the right hip. Is that right? Yeah. So, you know, for sciatica, so the lady doesn't be pressing on her sciatic nerve. And it's just like a whole bunch of things. You, like, yeah, the nurse and everybody needs, like, they're gonna know some of this stuff, and you will have that team support, but still you need to be able to hand the doc as something simple as, if he asking for a pickup, to know which pickups to hand because of where you're at in the human body, like as far as tissue structure goes, or which retractors make sense to hand. You know, like, just being able to think out the process, not just handing an instrument because you think that that's what it is. Like, it's the instrument, and then why the instrument is being given. Because a lot of times what they also don't tell you, because what it says at the end, it says, in this same sentence, it says, to read it again, it says surgical technologists are experts in the theory and application of the principles of asepsis and sterile technique to be combined the knowledge of human anatomy, surgical procedures, meaning, so it says surgical procedures, meaning you need to understand the procedure, the steps of the procedure, because you need to know where y'all at. Like, if you don't know that you know, looking at an appendix or a gallbladder, then, like, I mean, and how are you gonna get the gallbladder out? Like, how you gonna get to the gallbladder? Like, all that, you need to know that. And it also says an implementation and tools and technologies. Here's the part that y'all need to really hear me on. To facilitate a physician's performance of invasive therapeutic and diagnostic procedures. To facilitate a physician's performance. That's the last line. To facilitate a physician's performance. It's like a piece of hair in my face, y'all. Sorry. So we need to know all of that stuff. We need to know in order to facilitate the physician and the physician's performance of invasive therapeutic and diagnostic procedures. We need to be able to help the doctor. I'm there for the doctor. I need to know not as much as they do because they go to medical school for that, but at the same time, like, if you, let's just say, because this has happened to me before, and then I'm gonna go. Let's just say I'm in one case, I'm working GYN, and then and then I end up working with a plastic surgeon, and he or she has a wound in a place that's not supine, or not normal to that physician's, like maybe they're used to doing stuff lateral, you know, supine or prone. But let's just say, or a frog, and frog, like a frog style is normal, but why do a frog when you can put the patient in stirrups or candy canes? And so that's, I'll never forget one day doing it, and they had put this patient doing a procedure, and the nurses were putting the patient in a position, and I was just like, why are y'all doing that? And then they were like, oh, because what we're gonna be working on, it was like her inner thigh. It was like what is it? I can't remember. It's hydro something, when it's like overproduction of sweat glands. I can't think of it right now, you guys, and I do apologize. But anyway, so we were doing that, we were removing it, but it was between her legs. And so it was a really, like, why are we putting this patient in frog when we could just put her in these, you know, in these stirrups? And it would be so much easier because now we can sit, like, Doc can sit, and I was just stand here and like helping from this side. And so it just, like, having those kind of moments just will only come if you are exposed to, you know, multiple services. And like, the doctors don't necessarily work in other services, so a plastics guy might not think to put the patient in stirrups because none of his patients are in stirrups, none of them. So why would he ever think, oh, let's do stirrups, unless they're open to somebody else either telling them that, or they, you know, maybe been around a little bit longer. And because we do work with all doctors from all ranges of their career, you might get a new doc and you can just be like, you know, hey, I've seen it done like this before, or hey, we got this and you can do it like this. So it would be beneficial to the whole team if you were able to, you know, be the best tech, or take as much information in as you can. What I would do is get books. As you can see, there's a few of mine. Here's one, this one over there. I just do a lot of studying on it. Y'all also know I'm getting ready to take my first assist exam, so I don't have no choice but to kind of study right now so I can pass it, because it's like $300 to take, and I don't just be going to spend $300, just be taking tests. And so anyways, I hope y'all have a better understanding. I'm like over again my minutes, and so I hope y'all have a better understanding of what a surgical tech is. If you have any more questions, I'm trying to, like, I have a list, and I know y'all have questions too because I see your comments. I have a list, and hopefully once I get through this list, it'll answer a whole bunch of y'all questions. So please leave me a comment if it's something that you weren't clear about. I hope I didn't make any mistakes. If I did, once I go back and watch the video, I'll put the mistakes that I made, I'll correct them in the description box or in the comment section. So anyways, you guys, see you next time. I'm like super tired. I had dozed off, and so then I got up and made a video. But anyway, so I hope y'all appreciate it. I appreciate you guys, each and every one of you. I do love you guys. Y'all already know that. Like, y'all my peoples. I got my tribe with me. Anyways, I'm gonna catch y'all next time. I love you. See y'all on another video. Bye.